Everyone, and welcome. My name is Ron Collins. I'm the owner of Blue Lacy SEO, and in this video I'm going to show you how to conduct a website audit to improve your SEO or search engine optimization. So let's go ahead and dive in. First of all, what is a website audit? It's a technical report card that gives you an overview of the SEO efficiency of your site, and specialized software and the trained eyes of SEO professionals can pinpoint areas of a website that needs attention. So if you already have a website, it's not performing well, or you think it's performing well, do a website audit that can determine any technical problems for your website. So the first one I'm going to look at is from SEMRush, very popular site for SEO professionals. This is their free audit, so I did a screenshot of it. I'm doing a website example from a site that I made called M&R Tax Services. It's for a local tax service in El Paso. I created this site a few months ago, but I haven't really done anything to it. I haven't really looked at optimization for the content or done that much to it. So let's look at what SEMRush said. It said my site health was 95%, no errors, one warning, one notice, and it crawled 9 pages. Now, it doesn't give you a lot of detail. It tells you about 400 errors, 500 errors. The XX means it could be 403, 404 errors. And if you're not familiar with all those, there's a Learn More button next to it. And it gives you some little circles here with colored circles. So kind of shows you the importance, or whether there's errors, warnings, notices. So this looks pretty good. It says I'm missing an H1. I have to look at that. I don't know. But it doesn't give you a lot of information. And they're doing that on purpose. It says see 119 more issues in site audit. Start a full audit of your website. We've only checked the first 25 pages. So if you have a bigger website, you're going to have to sign up with SEMRush and get more of a full audit. I haven't done that. So this is pretty basic and superficial. I wouldn't probably use this free one. There's a lot better ones out there. So let's take a look at another one. So the other one I want to show you is called SEO Optimizer or SEO Optimizer, something like that. So I've already run the scan, and it tells me I've got an A on it. Your page is good. Number of recommended improvements is 7. And it gives me a little screenshot of the home page. And it says I got an A+ on SEO. Usability A+, performance A+, and F on social because I don't have any social media set up. I don't have a Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or any of that stuff. Security is A+. So let's look down. It says your SEO is very good. The page is well optimized. Then it talks about your title tag, the links, what the title tag is, your meta description. I got these green check marks. The body content, I got header tags and H1s and H2s and so forth. Keyword consistency, your main page's main keywords are not distributed well across important HTML tags. Well, I didn't tell them what keywords I was trying to rank for, but it picked up on some here. Individual words like tax, services, business, refund, taxes. It tells me the page frequency, like tax 28, 16 for services. But it says these words are not in my title. Well, should they be? How do they know? Some of these words are not in my meta description tag. Some are not in my headings tag. So this is very confusing about, well, how many of these words am I supposed to include in my titles or heading tags? It doesn't really tell you, how many you should have. Here's phrases, tag preparation. Okay, I have that in the title, meta description, heading tags. I use it 7 times. Is that enough? Well, it gives me a green check here, so I guess income tax, R tax, all these other ones lower down. So it's a little confusing expecting what you're exactly supposed to do. But it says I have a good amount of textual content. I have word count 996. Well, how do they know that's a good word count? Is word count important for SEO? That's something I'll maybe talk about later. Do you do not have any images missing alt attributes on your page? This is for images. Backlinks. If you want to see your backlinks, you have to sign up for a free trial. Your on-page link structure. You can show the details about that. No broken links. I got an index. I have robots text. I have XML sitemaps. I'm using Google Analytics. I'm using structured data. Then it comes down here and it says top keyword rankings. Shows your top keyword rankings and the location. So it says M&R Tax Services. That's the keyword. That's the name of the company. The name of the website. It says it's ranked 53. Not very good for typing in the actual name of the website. Total of 20 searches. 0 traffic. I mean, nobody has clicked on it. Now you can see all your rankings, but you have to sign up for it. So, how can I find out more about what keywords I'm ranking for, how they're showing up? You can do that in Google Search Console. It's very easy to set up. It's free. So I've already gone into my Search Console and for M&R Tax Services. Here's a performance for the last 28 days. You can change this view to any number of days or months. And it says here I don't have any clicks. I have 15 impressions. No click-through rate. Average position 29.7. And that's for this one query, M&R. That's it. So I don't have any clicks. I have 1 impression that showed up. Somebody typed that in. And it showed up, but I'm not ranking really for any of my main keywords like tax preparation. And this site is probably 5 months old, something like that. So if my SEO is so good, why isn't this site ranking better against the competition? So that's something that I can talk about here later on in the video. All right, let's go ahead and talk about another one, a favorite one that I use a lot called Screaming Frog SEO Spider. You can download this for free, and it's downloaded to your computer. So it runs off your computer, uses the resources from your computer to run. So I've already done the scan of M&R Tax Services again. And here it gives you all the information, and you have to interpret what this information means. In other words, here's an address up here, M&R Tax Services. It tells you what the content is. Status code 301. Status moved permanently, non-indexable. In other words, Google hasn't indexed this. Well, why? Well, if you look closely, this version of the website is HTTP, which is the unsecured version of this website. So if somebody uses HTTP in the URL to find the site, it's going to have a 301, or it's going to move it over to the secure version, HTTPS. S is for secure. So that is indexable. So you need to understand the results here and what these things mean to get anything out of this at all. So you have up here internal, external, security, response codes, all the URLs, page titles, tells you what the page title is, how long it is, if there's any missing, duplicates, so forth on the side over here. Meta description, what the meta description is. Meta keywords, you actually don't want to use any meta keywords. H1s, H2s, the most important ones. Your content, the word count. Your images, what size they are. If there's links, canonicals. If you don't know what canonicals are, you can't make any really good decisions about what to do here. Pagination, directives, and so forth. And if you click on some of the addresses here, the URLs, you get more information down here. There's more tabs down here. In links, out links, image details, duplicate details. There's all kinds of information here, and you can download this information. You can export it. I use this a lot in combination of another one that I want to show you, and this is called Website Auditor. I like this one. This is another software you can download to your computer and run it from there. I already put in my mnrtaxservices.com. I click on Site Audit, and it tells me I have no errors, no warnings, and some informational statuses. Now, for novices to SEO, this is very user-friendly because if you click on resources with 4XX status codes, this could be like 403, 404 codes, anything that starts with a 4. And I have a green check mark, but it says, it tells you about this status, and it tells you about the SEO factor. 4XX errors often point to a problem with a website. For example, if you have a broken link on a page, visitors click it, they may see a 4XX error. It's important to regularly monitor these errors, investigate their causes, because they could have a negative impact and lower the site authority in users' eyes. So you go down the list here, and it gives, for instance, resources restricted from indexing, 8 of them. Well, I got to see if this is correct or not. This is disallowed, has a no index meta tag for this page. Privacy policy. Well, I did that on purpose because it's not an important page. People can still look at it, but it's not important for Google to crawl that page. Here's a list of other ones. WP JSON. JSON refers to structured data, and it's a disallowed in the X robots tag. There's different ways you can disallow scanning or crawling pages in Google or other search engines. So all this refers to the JSON structured data, which is okay, perfectly okay. We don't want them to be scanning that. So, well, why don't you want to? It's not important for them to do so. And we have in Google what we call a scan budget. Now, what that means is that they only have so much time to go through and scan your site. And it's a little bit complicated, but basically, you don't want them to waste their time scanning on URLs that don't really matter. That people are actually not going to see these URLs here. So then it tells you the factor status, about this SEO factor, what it is. So you go down the list here and it tells you a lot of different things if you don't understand what they are. So we have things, redirects, encoding and technical factors, URLs, links, images, on page, so forth. Now if we go to pages, it tells you all the pages, the resources, how many HTMLs, JavaScript, CSS, how many images, and so forth. Then we get into content analysis. Now here's where you can put in a keyword like El Paso text preparation. That's what I want to rank for. Now it's not telling me, because I'm not ranking for this yet, so it's not giving me any information on it. So you go down to page audit, and this will find your best ranking competitors, analyze their content, provide you with a detailed report, how to improve each element of the page. Okay, this is very useful. So I'm going to put in our tax services. I'm going to put El Paso tax preparation. There it is. I'm just going to put one keyword. You can put more. I'm going to run the audit. And down here you can see the left-hand bottom of the screen, the progress it's doing. Depending on what it is, how many keywords. It may take a little bit of time. So this is going to analyze the page again, but based on the keyword that I entered. So I'll give that a little bit of time. And again, it's going to give me errors, warnings, and informational. And it's going to give me a score. Just like those other ones gave a score, this one's going to give a score also. And it's going to be divided up into content optimization and then technical factors. Okay? And you can do this to all the pages on your website, the individual URLs. Okay, so it finished. I have an overall rating of 94.2, kind of in line with the other scores that I got that I showed you earlier. So it says keywords in the title. I have one keyword in the title. It's what we call an exact match. Now this TF IDF I'll talk about later. The title length is 61 characters. You want it maximum about 70. So it gives you an idea. And then about this SEO factor. So it tells me I have no errors and 2 warnings. So I have all these green checks. Now what's nice about this, let's go back up to keywords. It gives you details. You can click on competitors. So this tells you what your competitors are doing. So El Paso text preparation, I give a score here. It's called a TF IDF. So let me talk about that. All right, TF IDF, this is an acronym, a weighting scheme that assigns each term in on a web page a weight based on its term frequency. That's where the TF comes from. And inverse document frequency, or IDF. What you need to know is a higher score indicates a better use of the specified keywords. Now, this web page receives a score of 85.6 on the TF IDF and an index score of 0.53. So what does that mean? Well, when you compare it to competitor scores, it appears that this keyword is better optimized. So let's go back to Let's go back to web site auditor. So it says I have 84.8, and I ran it earlier and it said a 0.53. Now it's a 0.47. But here's the competitors down here. Now some of these are big time sites like H&R Block, Liberty Tax, Jackson Hewitt, and then it's highlighting the keywords that I put in, what it is in their title, and what their score is. Like H&R Block, 0.43, 0.39, 0.35, 0.43. So I have a higher score than they do. So, well, why am I not ranking higher than them? Well, this is just one little ranking factor. So there's hundreds of ranking factors. So you have to take that into consideration here. But this gives you a good idea of what the competitors are doing. And then click on title tag. You can see exactly what the title tag is. And there's my keywords and what the competitors are doing. Now this won't give you that option on every one. But if you go down keywords in the body, I have one exact and one broad, and then I can see what the competitors are doing, what my TF-IDF score is, word count. You can go down here and look at the competition. So this is pretty good as you go through all of these on content optimization. If you see competitors up here, you can click on it and see how you can compare against your competitors. All right, then when you click over on technical factors, again it says page status code of 200 is good, broken resources, restricted from indexing, mobile friendly, but my page speed could be a little bit better. HTTP and S content issues and so forth. So it gives you again a lot of information. So here's that TF-IDF again, and it's going to give you your keywords, tax preparation. It says okay, the number of competitors, the keyword count, this is the keyword count average, this is the keyword, this is my page. So here's the average, here's what mine is. So the average is 2 on rights reserved. Now that term, you don't want to rank for that term, so you got to be able to figure out which terms are important and which ones aren't. Tax services, that should be important. It says I'm okay. The average is 3 and I have 7. Tax office, average is 3, I don't have any. Tax filing, file taxes, restrictions, state tax. Well, I'm living in Texas. There is no state tax, so I wouldn't want to try and rank for that. So you got to look at this restriction is applied. That doesn't mean anything. You don't want to try ranking for that. But they're taking the information off the competition, which is over here. This may be blocked and you can't see all of this. But you can click on each of these pages. So there's a lot of things to look at. Multi-word keywords, single keywords, and where you can make adjustments. It will give you overall reports, a summary of everything without all the explanations. Or you can give the page audit with the details. So it'll give you the details about what the SEO factor is. Here's a keyword count for all the different opposition pages, the competition. Lots of information. Here's this TF-IDF again, so it'll give you a report on that. This is the free version, so it won't let you print this. It won't let you save it either. You can screenshot some of this if you want to. But those are the limitations on the free versus the paid one. Okay, so it gives you scores on the title, meta description, all these different things. It gives you a score. Okay, then down here it goes to domain strength. Now, they have their own metric for domain strength. It's from 1 to 10. And it says it's a complex quality metric calculated based on numerous key factors: domain age, backlinks, social signals, etc. Now, I have a very low score because this is a fairly new domain. I don't have any backlinks. I don't have any social signals. So a site that has more of those things are going to have a better score. Moz has their own domain strength metric also. And then you can go to reports again on the site audit, domain strength, things like that. This is if you want to print these out, but in the free version, we can't print those out. So it tells me that I have a pretty high score here, 94.2. So all of these have given me a high score on my SEO. So again, why is this site not ranking? It's not ranking, well, it's barely ranking in the top 100. And I haven't done really anything to this site. I have a Google My Business. I don't have any citations or directories, any social media, anything like that. It's just basically the website. So let's look at why this site doesn't rank, even though it says my on-page SEO is very, very good. Okay, so the tax website I created gets high scores for its on-page SEO. It's been out for several months, and like I said, it barely ranks in the top 100. So why doesn't this website rank? It takes more than just normal SEO techniques to rank in a competitive niche, which this is very competitive. You take a lot of local services like construction, roofing, electrical, plumbing, hair salons, tax preparation. There's a lot of competition. Websites now rank for their authority. So what does that mean? The top ranking competitors for tax preparation in El Paso, which I'm trying to rank for, are sites with a lot of authority. These include H&R Block, Jackson Hewitt, and Liberty Tax. They're on the first page. They rank high even if their SEO is not perfect because of their authority. Increasing the authority of your website requires effort and time, but here are a few of the ways to increase authority. All right, number one, pick a good domain name. Having your keyword in your domain name used to be a big ranking factor years ago, but not anymore. But it still gives some relevance. Now, if you already have a domain name for a while, please don't go and change it. That has your keyword in it. It's not going to make a big difference. You're going to lose whatever authority you had on that URL, that domain. You're going to lose it if you change it. So keep it. Number two, optimize page content. With software like Website Auditor, you can see how well your content is optimized versus the competition and adjust it accordingly. Create linkable content. This starts by creating up-to-date content related to what you do. Now, this most commonly is done with blog posts or video, and I believe video has really more impact. Internal linking. Internal links help to direct visitors to what they are trying to find, thereby improving their user experience. Link to your money page, which will usually be your home page. And Google will see this as your authority page because you're linking to it. All right, number 5, get reviews. Get as many reviews as possible on Google My Business, Yelp, Trustpilot, etc. This is definitely an authority builder, and it will increase your sales. And then number 6, promote your content on social media. So if you make a video or create a blog post, promote it on your social media platforms. So there's a lot of work involved to creating a website that is going to rank on Google. Sometimes less competitive terms, you can rank higher. So with a newer website, you can try ranking for less competitive terms to get started. Otherwise, you're going to have a long haul. It may take several months. It may take up to a year for you to get to where you want to be on Google. But I hope this gives you some direction, and I'll see you next time.